Meal prepping, bulk buying smart staples, and catching secret discount days turn your grocery bill from a budget buster into a money-saving weapon. And the truth is, most families don't realize how much control they actually have over what they spend at the grocery store until they start paying attention to their habits. Because grocery spending is one of those sneaky categories that feels fixed. You think, well, food costs what it costs. But in reality, it's one of the easiest places in your budget to win big if you're willing to be intentional and disciplined. And let me tell you, intentionality is where the savings really show up, because every single time you walk into a store without a plan, you're opening the door to overspending, grabbing random things that look good, falling for deals that aren't really deals, and by the time you get to the checkout line, you've doubled your bill without even realizing it. And that's why meal prepping isn't just about food. It's about telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. So when you sit down once a week, look at what's already in your pantry and freezer, and then plan meals around those items while filling in the gaps with a precise shopping list, you've already won half the battle, because you're cutting out unnecessary purchases, reducing food waste, and building a rhythm that saves you both time and money, and you can do this in a way that works for your lifestyle. Maybe that's cooking one big pot of chili that lasts for several meals, or roasting a whole chicken and turning it into sandwiches, soups, and casseroles over a few days. Or simply portioning out lunches so you're not tempted to run through the drive-thru when you're tired. And when you repeat this pattern consistently, you'll find your grocery spending drops dramatically without sacrificing quality or flavor. And that's exactly how real families cut their food bill in half, by being intentional and proactive rather than reactive. Now let's talk about bulk buying, because this is the second powerhouse strategy, and it works when you're smart about it, not when you're just loading up a cart with stuff you don't really need. Because here's the truth. Buying 50 pounds of bananas is just going to leave you with a smelly kitchen, but focusing on staple items that you know you'll actually use, things like rice, beans, pasta, flour, oats, canned goods, frozen chicken, or family packs of ground beef, means you're paying less per unit and building a stockpile that saves you from extra trips to the store. And fewer trips equals fewer temptations because, let's be honest, every time you walk into a grocery store, you're hit with smells, displays, and clever marketing that's designed to separate you from your money. So cutting the number of trips already saves you money before you even look at the receipt. And bulk buying also allows you to cook in bigger batches, portion meals into freezer bags or containers, and stretch ingredients across multiple recipes, which is the very definition of making your dollars work harder. And the added benefit here is stability. You've always got something on hand when life gets hectic. So instead of defaulting to expensive convenience food or takeout, you can pull from your stash and stay on budget. And that's the power of thinking ahead and refusing to live in crisis mode. Then there's the grocery store's best-kept secret, discount days. And this is where the eagle-eyed shoppers really shine, because grocery stores operate on schedules, whether they tell you about them or not. And the reality is they have to move products that are close to expiration, whether it's meat, bakery items, or produce. And that's when the markdowns happen. So if you learn the rhythm of your local store, maybe it's Tuesday morning when the butcher slashes prices on meat that needs to be sold that day, or Wednesday afternoon when yesterday's bread gets marked down to half price. You can stock up on perfectly good items at a fraction of the cost. And these aren't second-rate foods. They're the same products everyone else is paying full price for. You're just grabbing them when the store wants to clear the shelves. And when you combine that with meal prepping and bulk buying, the savings multiply, because you're not just shaving a few dollars here and there. You're strategically slashing your bill across the board. And the only thing it takes is awareness. Because once you figure out those patterns, you've essentially hacked the system, and that's money that stays in your pocket instead of theirs. And here's the bigger picture. When you meal prep with purpose, buy in bulk with wisdom, and shop with an eye for those discount windows, you're no longer drifting through the grocery store hoping for the best. You're on a mission with a plan. And that kind of discipline doesn't just impact your grocery budget. It spills over into every area of your finances, because every dollar you save at the store is another dollar you can put toward paying off debt, stacking up your emergency fund, or building wealth for the future. And that's where the freedom comes in. Because when you stop letting money control you and start telling it what to do, you break out of the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle and start moving toward real financial peace. And it might sound dramatic to say that it starts at the grocery store, but that's exactly where most families can see immediate change. Because food is a daily need and a weekly expense, and if you can cut that in half, the ripple effect across your entire budget is massive. And the best part is, you don't have to sacrifice good meals or family time to do it. You're just trading waste and impulse for intention and strategy. And that's the kind of simple, powerful shift that changes everything.